Welcome back to National Report. President Trump shocking many last night when he sent a tweet out after his daily coronavirus briefing calling for a temporary halt to immigration.
And the president arguing the move will protect American workers from foreign competition as the nation begins to recover from the shutdown caused by the coronavirus outbreak.
Congressman Greg Steube, a Republican from Florida, joining us now. Congressman, it's good to see you. Do you think what the president said last night was the right move?
Yeah, I think in order to protect our country, I think you need to make bold steps like that. You know, the mainstream media criticized him when he started shut down travel from Wuhan, China. And then suddenly they said he didn't do it fast enough. So absolutely, he has been bold in taking action to protect Americans. And I think absolutely, until we can get our hands on this pandemic and ensure that it's safe for immigration to continue, for him to shut it down. As long as he's putting in things like waivers and exceptions for H-2A to ensure that the agricultural workers are being screened and checked as they're coming in and out of the country, I think it's a great move.
I want to ask you about the next relief package. We're hearing that the Senate may be able to take this up and get this thing done and then send it to the House. What are your thoughts on this and in getting that money out there to small businesses, sir?
Yeah, well, absolutely 100% we need to get more money to small businesses. It's very disappointing that 2 weeks ago, the president tried to just reauthorize money specifically to that fund, specifically to small businesses to get the help that they needed during the time that they need it. And Speaker Pelosi and Chuck Schumer shut them down and been playing politics with that money for 2 weeks. And in those 2 weeks, I can't tell you how many businesses in my district have contacted me. They were through the application process and their banks told them there's no more money left. The money dried up, so they weren't able to get their money. And so for the last 2 weeks, Pelosi's been holding this over the president's head and over Congress's head and over all of our small businesses, not getting the help that they need so that they could leverage the president and Mitch McConnell to get more things that they wanted in this bill. It should have been reauthorized 2 weeks ago. I hope that it gets done this week. The latest I've heard is sometime today or tomorrow, the Senate will take it up and pass it, but we still haven't even been provided language yet. So I'm curious to see what other things are going to get stuck in there. And hopefully there won't be some poison pills in there. They'll just reauthorize the business, maybe have some money for hospitals and some money for the community banks in rural areas has been talked about. And I think that's important for our rural communities to have community banks to be able to use that PPP money specifically for them.
Well, Congressman, you mentioned hospitals there. We're learning, of course, that could be potentially included in the bill, as you just mentioned. But because hospitals are not allowed to conduct any elective surgeries right now, some are having to dismiss some of their staff or furlough their staff at this point. Do you think this next bill will be enough to cover those employees?
Well, hopefully they could take advantage of the PPP if they're under 500 employees. I have several rural counties that should be able to take advantage of that. But if not, yeah, they should be able to. The government has told them that they can't operate in a capacity that they normally operate in. So we should be able to compensate them for their loss during that time and be able to ensure that these employees are able to keep on during this time. In Florida, he shut down a stay-at-home order the month of April. So hopefully in the beginning of May, that will be lifted. And in Florida, elective procedures will start to begin in the beginning of May. So hopefully it'll only be a month that these people will be out. There's also the ability for them to take advantage of unemployment compensation. But absolutely, especially in the rural areas of the state of Florida, if those hospitals have been hit extremely hard, then we need to help them out during that time.
Congressman, last question for you. Getting you guys to vote there in the House, remote voting and such. Your thoughts on that, doing that, from your home, sending those votes into some 400 members. Just what are your thoughts on remote voting?
Well, I intend on going up Thursday. As of this morning, they told us to plan on being there. It'll be a recorded vote on Thursday. So we're already looking at flights. And as soon as that's confirmed, it's my intention myself to be in Washington to vote on that package on Thursday, if Thursday's the day that we vote. There was talk also that Speaker Pelosi was looking at a vote on Thursday to change the rules as it relates to distance voting. I'm at the point where I'm happy to look at language as to how they would do that. And the talk was kind of like, if you couldn't make it, you would tell somebody in leadership how you would vote. I think that's problematic to ensure that the votes are being counted accurately. You have a card like a driver's license or a business card that goes, electronic card that goes into a voting machine to vote for you, and only you can do that, and only you have that card. So I think it's problematic if there's other ways that we're going to do it other than utilizing that device. But I'm open to reading the proposals that they'll have. They haven't given us any language, but it is my intention as a member of Congress from Florida to be up there on Thursday when we vote.
It's Congressman Greg Steube, Republican from Florida. Good to see you. Stay safe. Thanks for joining us.
You.
Sure.